Hello and welcome to The Great Dance Life. This is one of our first series of interviews that we're doing, and today I am honored to have two amazing dancers with us. We have Jennifer Kronenberg, Guerra, and Carlos Guerra, and the fun part is that they're a couple, and here's their adorable daughter, Eva. And so my first question is, you've been dancing for one company for a very long time. You started at age 17.
That's right.
Tell us about that experience.
That's right. I joined Miami City Ballet at age 17 as an apprentice. And honestly, when I came and started in the company, I thought, wow, this is a great experience. It's not going to last more than a year. What am I going to do after a year?
Right.
And 22 years later, I was still in the company. I had made my way through the ranks to principal dancer, and I really found a home. I found a place that I could grow, where I was comfortable, where I felt there was really a reciprocal giving and receiving, reciprocal respect. Mm-hmm. It was really a wonderful place to be. So I'm very thankful, because it's not often that dancers find that right off the bat.
Yes,
so,
and to be able to stick that long.
That's
and
right.
Move around a lot. Did you miss anything about not maybe tried somewhere else or tried a different company?
I never really did. That was the funny thing, is that I felt so satisfied artistically and professionally. I felt like I kept growing and I kept being challenged, that I never felt the need. I never felt that curiosity to go somewhere else, because I was getting everything that I needed there.
Right, okay. Excellent. And you started very young also as a dancer.
I started when I was 10 years old in Cuba. And then I did the studies in the ballet school in Cuba, but I am from Camagüey, not from Havana. So I did 8 years in the school, and then I became a professional. I danced for the Ballet de Camagüey for 2 years. Then after I got a contract in Chile with Ivan Nagy. And then I was dancing in Chile for like almost 3 years until I had the opportunity to come here to the United States. And Miami was my first place, so
really?
I joined Miami City
Ballet. You got your
Ballet.
job right away, right here.
It was like, I came actually to a TV show to give a surprise to my grandmother. And the day after the TV show, I went to audition to Miami City Ballet. And it happens that they were needing boys, because one of the guys were hurt, or like 3 of them were hurt.
Right.
And then they offered me a contract there. And I wasn't sure, because I just brought clothes for 4 days. I didn't bring everything. I just came with the idea for the show and go back and finish my contract in Chile. But opportunities come and knock, sometimes once, and then I just stay and never went back after. And that was in the year 2000. And then I've been in Miami City Ballet for 16 years.
16 years. So tell us, how did you guys get together? I mean, obviously, we know where you met, but
Right.
how did you get?
She was my first partner when I started Miami City Ballet. Edward Vilela put us dancing together.
Yes.
And he liked the way that we looked aesthetically, I think,
Correct.
at first together. And then just, I guess we complemented each other, the way that we danced. And so we kept getting paired up more and more and more. And the sparks started flying. And, I mean, it took a while. It took a few years.
She liked me right away.
What's not to like?
That is true. What's not to like?
But he was shy-ish with me. Not so much with other people.
Well, I was very young.
He was very young, and I was in a different place in my life, too. And so it took a while for us to sort of get on the same page outside
You're
of
working hard, too.
That's right.
We were dancing together all the time, and after 5 years of dancing together every day and having feeling, at least from my side, about her, was when I opened myself after 5 years.
5 years.
It took 5 years. Yes.
Wow.
But
It took 5 years.
The sparks were always kind of flying from the beginning. So.
Oh, that is great.
We used to flirt on stage.
Yeah.
That was the way. I think.
Yeah, that's safe because you're on stage. So.
That's right. That's right. It was the safe space.
It's a safe space, and after it's like, no.
I was just in the role.
Cute, yeah. That's funny.
Just acting.
So how does that translate now into, okay, now we are a couple, dancing all day together, performance, traveling, consistently together.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Literally.
It's beautiful, it's a blessing, but it's difficult. It's difficult because you never get space. You never get a time to just be. But we love each other very much, and we love what we do very much. So we've been okay. We've been fine. I think the hardest part for us is rehearsal.
Rehearsals.
Because the more comfortable you become as a couple, the more comfortable you become saying what you dislike and criticizing, and you lose your filter a little bit.
Right.
So
Does
been a
this
challenge.
go back home when you go home sometimes?
Not for him. For me, it does.
She takes it a little bit.
She takes it home and be like, by the way, when you did that turn,
No, she's just serious. I'm like, are you okay, honey? She's like, I know something's wrong. Can you tell me? Nothing's okay. But I know.
And it has to do with work.
Yeah.
And then after a little while, then she let me know. You were so mean to me. I'm like, oh my God, no. So you didn't do the piqué here what I told you. I need you to help me here. She said, no, your hands has to be lowered, So it's pretty funny.
But at the same time, we're lucky. I hear other couples that leave each other at 7 o'clock in the morning and don't see each other until nighttime, and then are so exhausted they can barely have a conversation.
That is true.
And I don't wish for that. I would never trade what we have now for that.
So now how do we shuffle little Eva into this? Because you still had long hours of working and practicing.
We have a little more time now. Now we left Miami City Ballet.
But we have we don't necessarily have more time, but we have the liberty of making our own schedule a bit better.
So tell us about this transition from this strict, been dancing 17 years, same company, and now you're kind of on your own.
It was a little bit scary at the beginning, but now we're losing that
fear.
The initial fear. Which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Right. And we are very excited with our company and with our dancers. It's a really nice group of dancers.
It's a great group.
How many dancers?
For the first show that we did, we had 15, which included ourselves. We did a pas de deux on the program.
Okay.
And it was a great group. It was, really, they kind of formed their own little family in a very short amount of time.
Correct. So you just started. How long have you guys been rehearsing this?
We started. Our first performance was November 20th, 2016, last year. And
how long before that did you start actually getting the group together?
A month before.
Yeah.
A month before.
Yes. Really?
Yeah. So it was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
How things started happening. Just okay, now we have the show.
It was like the roller coaster all of a sudden took a dive down the hill, and we were like, okay, it's going.
That's how you got it. Like
2 days. It was
in.
like 2 days before we started with the company, the rehearsal. We still were missing one boy.
That's right.
And the choreographers were counting with that.
Right.
And we were like, oh my God. So it happened that the day before, I just found one. And he turned out amazing.
Amazing, yeah.
So I'm feeling to the group with everyone. It's really nice. The other thing that is very special, I think, is like a lot of them, they're from Cuba. Some of them have been here for like only 6 months.
Right.
And then the other ones are American, so they start building the thing like trying to teach Spanish, the Americans.
Yeah.
The Cubans to the Americans Spanish, and the Americans to the Cubans English. So it's really nice.
It's camaraderie, the family forming.
Yeah.
So, what is your vision for this company?
We really want to continue building it to be a company that reflects the community, the South Florida community, the diversity of the community, diversity of culture. We want it to be a company that's accessible to the community, that's affordable. We want to bring it to theaters that ballet companies don't necessarily visit. We want it to have an identity that really represents Miami and South Florida. And we really want to keep it, like right now, almost all of our dancers are from South Florida, from Miami, or live there now.
Okay.
A lot of them came over from Cuba but are living with family now in Miami. And these are local dancers, local artists who are amazing. And
We have so much talent.
we want to keep them.
It's
We want to
incredible.
keep them here.
That
We
is
don't want them to
excellent.
go other places. Yeah.
They don't want to go. Some of them are like doing Uber part-time, and other ones are doing construction or a catering company.
Right.
Like, their
Still
passion
have
is
their
into the
love.
ballet. They need to do something,
That's
but
right.
I
it's,
always say, once a dancer, always a
Always
dancer.
a dancer. So it's so important to create this employment opportunity
Yes,
for them.
I am so good.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And we want to keep doing collaborations too with other dance companies around, musicians, visual artists, local choreographers. So there's so much here in Miami. Why not get together and use it and create not just a performance but an experience, for the audience.
and not just in Miami. I would say South Florida in general.
Absolutely.
South Florida in general. I mean, Palm Beach too, Broward. There's so much.
Yeah.
We want to reach.
Yeah, that's great because I've always said, especially when Ballet Florida closed and everyone's split up, and we have so many kids graduating.
There's no work.
It's no work, and the big
Because
companies can only take
So many.
So
They
many,
can only take so
exactly.
many.
And-
As much as they might
And
love
we don't
to
need,
take more.
we like we said, we need a lot of more what's happening locally because people appreciate more going to see someone that they're supporting because it's our people right here. They can communicate. The community really starts coming together
Right.
when it's something that they feel that you said you're doing it for them. They will reciprocate
Sure.
by attending and supporting.
Sure.
That's great. So go ahead and tell us because you are also a writer.
Yes.
And that takes time
That
and
takes a
dedication.
lot of
That's a
time.
whole
A lot.
lot of
Oh
set
my
of
goodness.
time. Right? Honey, what you're doing?
And that's what
Exciting.
can we watch a movie, please?
No.
Yeah, I'll be there in 10 minutes. And then 10 minutes
It's
turn
2
into an hour.
hours.
2
Yeah.
hours. And it's like,
Before you know it.
Yep.
It's crazy. But yes, I've written 2 books. The second book was a collaborative effort with Carlos.
The technique class, a duet is a.
It's about pas de deux,
Pas de deux.
partnering work. So we shared our own
That's
experiences working
Excellent.
together. Part of it is a how-to, so we actually go through the steps. But we also go through sort of the aspects of partnering that you're not taught in class. How to develop trust, how to communicate with each other.
Is this in book form or is this in visual film,
It's
video?
it's a book. It's a paperback
Oh,
book,
wow.
but we also have there are QR codes in the books with links that you can
Excellent.
scan with your smartphone, and it will take you to a video. Also,
That is clever.
yeah.
it's
Clever.
very interesting.
Yeah.
So how was that working to try to get the technique and the
Very difficult.
right?
Very much more difficult than I thought it was going to be.
Because you're going to break it down into
in
detail.
ways that you just don't
you
do.
don't think it. Plus, you've been dancing for so many years, it becomes natural
It becomes
to you.
second nature.
But if
certain
you
things.
have to teach it, now you're going, oh, wait a minute.
And it's different to have to write it down because now you have to put motion into words in a way that the reader understands, and it's very. I mean, I must have written things over 10 times at least before I was like, okay, somebody can actually understand this.
Right.
Wow. Yeah.
So your first book was called So You Want to Be a Ballerina,
So you want to be a ballet dancer?
a ballet dancer, and you wrote that because
Because I was actually teaching a lot in summer programs and different schools, and I was coming back home and not complaining, but mentioning to Carlos all the time that I was sort of shocked at how little the kids knew about things to me that seemed, essential at how to sew your ribbons on properly, how to tie your hair back so it doesn't fall out. Things that
Makeup.
basic things, how
no
to
one pays
dress
attention to that
so it
anymore.
best accentuates your
Body
body
type,
type. how to eat properly. You know, I would walk down the hall and see kids eating a bag of potato chips for lunch and then not eating the rest of the day. I'm like, what are you doing? So he said, well, there you keep saying you want to write a book. There's your book. Write a book for your students. So that's what I did.
In Cuba, the School of Arts in Cuba, we learn, they teach us, we have makeup classes, so they teach the girls like how to do sometimes their hair, different ones, the classical.
Right.
And we also start seeing that young kids come to the company after they graduate and they don't really know how to, it's like, it's Giselle, you have to do the hair like this way, so they don't know how to do it.
Right, so there's the whole package is not there anymore.
That's right.
It's just dance, but they're not doing. I think a lot that they're not doing either is facial expression.
Right.
How you can't just go on stage and dance. It's not just this. If you don't, the face doesn't get into you can't tell the story.
Sure.
Because we're also looking at that.
Right.
So, well, I kind of thought it was kind of if you want to be a ballerina or a ballet dancer, what it really takes. I mean, this is the basic and the beginning and the training. Now we're talking 8 hours a day. I mean, what's a professional dancer looking at when they said, okay, I want to be a professional dancer? What does that entail?
Right. Well, I tried to touch on that in the book as well, and what our day-to-day routine is.
So is it 8 hours?
It is about 8 hours a day. It is.
It's like a regular job.
It is. It's very strenuous, physically, emotionally, on so many levels, and you have to be prepared. You have to be prepared to handle all of the stresses. Very disciplined. You can't necessarily take everything personally, or you'll just not last. You can't go gung-ho all the time, for that you'll burn out.
Correct.
You have to understand that there is a progressive ladder.
Correct.
You start somewhere and you go in every day and try to get a little bit better. You judge yourself against yourself, not against everybody else, because everybody has something else to offer, and you always can learn from everybody around you, and they can learn from you.
How about injury prevention? How often does this happen? Does it happen because you're burned out and you're not paying attention? You just go through the system, and if that's why having that discipline of being on time, warming up, focus, because that's how easy, a little bit of distraction.
Absolutely. We talk about that in
how,
both of our books, actually.
How
we talk
often
about
have
that.
you seen injuries?
Oh, all the time. All the time. Yeah. I've been very fortunate to not have had any major injuries during my career, but he's had a few.
I had 2 surgeries. One on my shoulder in 2008. They reconstructed my rotator cuff. Because it was torn. I was going through all this pain, and at night my whole arm was tingling, and I thought it was bursitis, but when I went actually to get an MRI, 97% was torn. And
it's just from all the lifts
and sometimes, sometimes you just try to do it, you don't warm up properly, because, you're just tired maybe from the day before, and you're like, okay, I'm just going to do it, and, it's not, you have to warm up. And some other times, trying different lifts, some other choreographers come and they're like, try this, try that, but, you need to be warm.
Sometimes just switching partners also, because you get used to someone that's very supportive, I'm sure you have that girl that just jumps and you don't even go flying, and then you have to, it's like, you gotta jump, you gotta help me. So that also makes a big difference, especially for the guys, because that's such a big thing. For the girls too, because when you're trying to balance and they're not supporting you, then you start tensing up the muscles.
That's right.
And, because I've been injured like that before, so I know.
Also with the guys, we suffer a lot. Also our knees, our backs as well. And so you need to
do
be
you
ready.
do any other exercise besides? Like, do they make you guys do weight training and any kind of strength training?
Once you're professional, they don't make you do anything, but you should. You should be
because you got to keep.
You have to.
You have to self-motivate, and you have to cross-train to.
So they don't ask any of this of you.
Once you're in
really,
the company,
no.
not really.
Not really. I mean, you kind of, you should do it on your own.
Right.
You know what you need in your body, what to strengthen your body.
Is this a kind of a contract or anything?
No.
Oh, really?
No.
I
it's
would
not a
think it would
contract.
be.
You would think, but no.
Right.
No. You have to show
Interesting.
up at class and rehearsals, but other than that, you're kind of on your own to decide what you need or don't need. And
Now, in Miami City Ballet, they didn't used to have weight
Weights?
training
Weights.
for the students,
Mhm.
and then like I think about 5 years ago, they get a big donation and they could kind of like create like a little gym there.
Okay.
So they start adding into the classes, for the boys especially, like
Strength training.
strength training. So which is great.
So we were talking about
traveling.
traveling, how stressful, how organized, how, what does that entail?
We had no idea how difficult traveling would become until we had a child.
Oh, yes.
Traveling was always something fun for us.
Oh, it was?
On
Before?
tour,
Yeah.
we would
You like
go
the
on
getting
one or
in
two
weekend
tours.
here
Yeah.
and
Then we had Eva, and it became very stressful.
then
Juggling. Who is going to babysit when we're on tour? How are we going to afford a plane ticket for her, round trip, to come with us?
That was
Oh my goodness.
We have to pack everything, not just our dance clothes and our everyday clothes, but now all of the baby stuff as well.
And when you're gone, how long are you gone? Like, what's your longest stretch?
Within Florida, we were normally gone, a weekend
Yeah,
or so it wasn't bad at
Okay.
all.
we were with Miami City Ballet. We went like a week to Canada, come back another week again. Different.
That was hard.
And then she was legal. They require more stuff.
More time, yes.
And so now you have to bring some of her vitamins
Everything.
and
Everything.
half of the house. You carry half of the
Everything.
house.
That's right.
Plus the car seat,
That's
I
right.
mean, it's
And she's a trooper. I mean, she really handled it a lot better than we did. She was like, okay, well, let's go.
Yes,
Are we going again?
Yeah, she had her little
that's what
suitcase.
By now she's probably going, why are we always home?
She actually has asked. Now that we've
Funny.
left Miami City Ballet with our company, we haven't traveled anywhere. And she has asked, like, when are we going on an airplane?
Oh,
like,
that's
what's going on?
funny.
Yeah.
And sometimes, being in the hotel, she's like, we're going home. But like, yes, she's like, no.
She
Let's
doesn't
stay
wanna
in the
go
hotel.
home.
She
I don't want to
loves
go
the
to
hotel
work.
life.
And she wants to stay. She wants to just leave the hotel. Leave
Oh
the
my
hotel.
goodness,
Yeah.
that is so adorable. So is she taking dance classes yet?
She is. She has just started ballet classes,
Okay.
creative movement classes.
We had to put her in the actual studio in a class because she was taking class in her school, like a dance class. And then the teacher told us she's not, something's wrong. She doesn't want to participate lately in the class. And so we asked her, what is going on? She said, well, it's not a real ballet studio. And she knows what is, she
Oh,
knows.
because
I mean, she was
she's
born,
not
she
up
was
in
like,
a
no, this
studio."
is a classroom. It's,
She wants the proper
That's
right.
right.
clothes and
That's
shoes.
right.
Right. So now
Funny.
she's taking
Started
classes. Every Saturday she has
She
ballet
has a
classes.
blast.
And she loves it. She
So
loves
how
it.
is important that she is a dancer?
Not important at all to us.
If she doesn't want to, you're okay. She
Totally
does.
I mean,
fine.
whatever she
Whichever
wants.
Totally fine.
direction she goes.
But tell her, be a doctor or a lawyer.
The more he says that, the more she puts on the tutu.
She's like-
I'm like, just
Then she
stop.
came with the idea. She was like, hey, how about Daddy? I can be a ballerina doctor.
A
Yes.
ballerina
So
daughter,
it's like,
that
hey,
is so
so
cute.
you can make your patients very happy.
Yes.
But no, we just want her to do whatever makes her happy, whatever she feels passionate about.
That is great.
I mean, if it's dancing, great.
So what's the name of your dance company?
Dimensions Dance Theater of Miami.
Yes.
Miami. Is it a non-profit or?
It's a non-
We're
Nonprofit
working right
organization.
now on our nonprofit status. Yes.
Okay.
It's incorporated as a nonprofit and we're awaiting our 501c3.
Okay,
So, yes.
excellent.
And, some people have asked us why we named it Dimensions, and I think, well, the story is funny, but but we wanted it to really be a multifaceted, multidimensional company. We didn't want to be limited to one style of ballet you know, not just the classics, not just contemporary. So this sort of gives us
Okay.
leeway. Yes.
And how the name came out, it's very difficult, you know, as when you're trying to find a name for your child too, it's like, you know,
Yes.
it can become really
Well,
stressful.
we knew we wanted to incorporate. We had to incorporate because we were going to apply for a grant.
Right.
And we were under the gun. Like, we needed to do it. We were like, we need a name. You can't incorporate without a name. So
Right.
we were sort of, had a lot of pressure on us. And I couldn't think of anything. I was racking my brain and I couldn't think of anything.
Okay.
And we were sitting in traffic one day and he says, what about dimensions? I said, wow, good vocabulary word. He was like, I am impressed. Where did you get that? And he was like, it says it right there on your stereo.
It wasn't the stereo.
It's our stereo.
That is
Yeah.
excellent.
The car stereo. was
Okay.
there,
So right now, are you focused in Miami area? Are you doing South Florida? You're going to be touring?
Right now we're focused in Miami.
Okay.
We opened in Miami-Dade County Auditorium. We have some more performances coming up in the South Dade Cultural Arts Center.
Okay.
But yeah, part of our vision is to open up to the rest of South Florida, get up to Broward, maybe up to Palm Beach, maybe even up to Tampa.
Right.
So,
But we just wanted to be, at least now, which is the beginning, just
You want to focus.
focus in Miami, you know, like trying to build our
a base.
base in Miami.
So are you doing any choreography from scratch, like your own choreography now?
We are not.
We are not.
But,
We're not choreography. I mean, we have done some choreography for schools,
Uh-huh.
but no, we haven't think about doing something for the company.
So-
We like to bring younger choreographers.
Okay. So tell me about From Havana to Heaven.
Hmm.
That was one of the new pieces you guys just.
That was the name of the whole program.
Okay.
But we had a ballet by Tara Lee
Mhm.
called Under the Olive Tree. She's an amazing young female choreographer
Okay.
from Atlanta Ballet. And we had danced her work in New Orleans because we danced with
okay.
New Orleans Ballet Theater in the summers. And we just loved her work and we're really excited to be able to bring it to the
Okay.
Miami audiences. Then we had a pas de deux by Yannis Piquieres, who is a staple in the Florida dance community.
Right.
So we were happy to do his work.
Mhm.
A classical pas de deux, the Talisman pas de deux, because it's always good to stick a classic in
Yes.
there.
And it hasn't
Back to
been-
your roots.
The Talisman hasn't been performed in Miami that much.
No.
You know, so we wanted to get out of the same Don Q concert,
Right.
Diana Action, so we wanted to
Yes.
bring something different.
Very different.
Special.
And the last ballet was a big community cultural hit. It was Juanita and Alicia, Septime Weber's Juanita y Alicia. And we had a live band on stage playing all of the Cuban boleros, and it
Great.
was
And
incredible.
it was also great to do a collaboration with the band because I feel like in that way, you know, they have some followers, so they came to see how they were very curious to see how the band was going to interact with the ballet.
how they were being incorporated. Into the performance.
So, you know,
And these are people that wouldn't necessarily come to the ballet otherwise. So
Correct.
we got a whole group of new.
Merged
That's
two
right.
different backgrounds.
and now they want to. When is the next show? We really like the ballet. You know, this
Yeah.
was fun. You know, it's just like classical. It was like by the end, everybody was like also like kind of like dancing in the scene. You know, it was
Yeah,
fun.
it was
Yeah.
fun.
It's kind of fun to put a little bit of your own background into that as well.
Sure.
Well, I think
sure.
it was also very for the community in Miami. You know, it was very
It's a great way to
important. You know,
get-
to bring that
To get that community.
community.
And I guess by doing that, you are also introducing them to classical and maybe taking away whatever belief they had about classical ballet being.
That's
whatever.
right.
And all of a sudden it's like, oh, but I actually do like it.
That's right. Breaking
So
down
you
preconceived
are-
notions
yes.
of what ballet is or isn't.
Correct.
You know. So
Correct.
yeah.
That's good. And it was very well received from what I understand.
It was. Thank
That's
goodness we were
exciting.
happy about that.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
We thought that we were like in a dream. You know, like, I remember watching the show after we finished dancing to see Juanita and Alicia. We went to the audience. We were like, this is happening. I mean,
Yeah.
a month and a half ago, I mean,
You thought,
we were like, I don't know if this is going to happen, but now it's happening. So it was really, it was beautiful. And
how did you get the word out there for people to know what
We
was
did,
happening?
but we didn't have a very big budget, so we couldn't really advertise, you know, in the mainstream
Next time,
newspapers.
call me
and
anyway.
all that.
I'm always ready to help, one way or the other.
Thank you.
Yes.
But we did a lot of social media advertising and marketing. We actually were so lucky to have been featured in the Miami Herald and the Nuevo Herald and Artburst, Miami Art Zine. All of these publications did preview articles for us, which was fantastic.
And TV as well.
Yes, Six in the
Telemundo.
Telemundo, Deco Drive did a ticket giveaway for us, so the word really got out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, congratulations.
Thank
This is a
you.
whole new road path for you guys.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you're very excited, and I'm sure the wheels are turning.
The wheels
what
are
else,
turning.
What else?
Crazy.
What else? Right? There's
Yeah.
always what else. But I think it's a great beginning. I think it's amazing that you are creating this environment, the work, the experience, and again, for the community and for your own people. So congratulations to you guys.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for coming on to our first Great Dance Life that we're having today. So we're very excited to have had Carlos and Jennifer with us here today. And thank you for joining us, and hope to see you soon.
Okay.